dollars. It broke support, flat bottom break. I like the short back into 10. That was a break that we had in the afternoon show, and it's consolidating lower. So underneath, this is about 10.10 where you had that support, just a hair underneath that. But I like the short back into that level on CGC. Clearly, you've had a massive run, and if you don't hold 10 bucks, the gap fill potential, 8, 8.50, 9, all of those levels are going to be in play. So there's a heck of a lot moving as far as I'm concerned. Palantir is going to open up pretty much at that $22 level. I think like it's going to test 22 right away, which puts like the first potential bounce spot into play. If it fails a breakdown at 22, I like it on the way back up. Kind of give it a local stop. If it holds 90, you give it to 90, and then from there, that level's 2160. I think that's got to be in play. Datadog as well, potential SSR bounce. And then we forgot about NVIDIA. Well, didn't really forget about it, just a heck of a lot of other stuff to talk about. NVIDIA was a breakout at 896. I tried 900, and that was not a clean move. I like that 895 area back in on a dip buy. So we got some room to go down before it would get there, but NVIDIA is down 1%, and the market, the NASDAQ's actually just gone green and taking out some highs. So there is a chance that you could get back down there on NVIDIA. Good breakout level at that 895, as they did have a little bit of a tie-in with Apple on news, but overall not doing a heck of a lot just yet.
All right, I'm just getting some of these stops in here. Palantir's coming down right now. I was looking at Disney, but again, that's just, we already have our stop in for Disney as well. A break of that 105.50 for Disney. We're just sorting out some of these imbalances, right? So as they come through here, we're going to watch out for that dip down in on Palantir, a name that we nailed yesterday that I think this was P&L number one. I was saying Apple, but it was Amazon. We had the 184 yesterday, or 185, sorry, on Amazon. We had this dip buy, so we're here to do that again. And we had this 188 break at the end of the day. Like yesterday was a great day to trade. For sure. Let's see if we can repeat again here today. We'll try to bid some little Amazon here at 187. And then what's on the sticky note is Amazon, or sorry, 188. What's on there is 187 in case we fall down. But with this market continuously moving higher, it seems like right now, off of a nice base of 18.2, now you're at 18.210, looking to go northbound. So far so good there.
Market is open.
5, that's a good one.
Just a quick note, we only had 20 seconds to go. Mara is supposed to be added to the S&P 600 today. So at least some point I'm going to be looking for some bids. I got the 1920 level marked off, but that could be more of an afternoon idea or like a trend trade. As we go to Adair, it's a Tuesday. Let's get this party started. Don't forget, Apple event starts in 30 minutes. In 5, 4, 3, 2, you know what to do, Adara. Right away, we're right at $20 on Palantir. We know that's going to be pretty heavily traded stock. It's trying to take it out. It just got a fresh low into 99s. I'm going to get a stop ready to go at the 90 level.
So your Peloton, right now we're still in Disney. There's no positions on the board right now. Yeah, we're gonna watch out to see what happens here as we're now open. And there comes Disney right back in, man, right to the downside there. So, again, we were really aware of this potential move happening here for Disney. So let's now see where we go on this one. Our stop still at that same level, 105.50. For Disney as it came back in there on a big sell. We should have been there. I should have been there to buy it, but we were not. And then there goes Palantir, man. I knew this name would sing. It's just at what level would that come through there? It bounces clean off 2190. Good move there for Palantir. Let's see if it comes back in. So far, so good right there. Yeah, we're up today, but just to have Disney.
Yeah, Piton does not hold support right off the bat. I gave you my out underneath 406. The second it tagged it, I was instantly out. Always have to have a level to work off of. Palantir just made the bounce back through $22. I was able to get 11s on the way back in. I missed.
Look at Palantir.
22. I tried to get 01s and then 02s and 03s. Was unable to do it. Ended up with a 10. I think the SSR bounce is in play pretty decently here. Apple not doing anything. NVIDIA's gone again.
So I just have to ask you, what percentage of a position would have you put on there at 10 for how many shares you're looking to get?
Not
for
at
Palantir?
10, no. At 10, I'm putting on like a quarter minimum max.
Quarter, okay.
Because that play is supposed to be at 22.
Here we go.
290. So you've essentially doubled your risk if you take it 10 cents higher. Like it's twice as much of a risk area. 22 evens is very different with a 21.90 stop than 22.12 or 22.11. So you have to adjust it there. But that was really fast. Like Palantir, like that move,
Yeah,
they
that
did
was
not
great.
even sleep how quick that was. When I said NVIDIA's gone, NVIDIA just went up to 915 and back to 907 and back to 910. Okay, so NVIDIA's not gone just yet. But we've seen this before. Fail break at the low of the day, does not hold through the pre-market bottoms, and then tries to
look at it,
take out
trying
the
to go
tops
through
through
50.
915. So 915, 15 looks like it would be that top.
man.
Getting back on over to Datadog was the other name on earnings we mentioned. It dipped right down into the bottom as well. Same time as Palantir, wicked the low and right back up for an SSR bounce on Datadog. That one just went $3 on an SSR bounce as well.
Man, we knew Palantir was going to be special today, and congratulations to everybody that has that trade, man. We only bought 49s there. We actually missed the 50 break, and there it goes right now. I mean, something to be talked about right there. You know, the number one idea to go long there on Palantir. So congratulations, all of you that have that and have made some decent money off of it. Let's see where it goes from there. Yeah, Tesla. I did have a bid on. Oh no, what did I have? I had 183 short. Come on Tesla. What am I even doing on this? I didn't have an offer there, but there's the call for Tesla. So let's go, man. That's a face slapper. We're back. I mean, we're here. And by the way, who was talking about Rivian going tank city right there? I mean, there's Rivian. See ya. All the way down there to 1050. Man, we're a fuego here today. It's too bad our net doesn't really represent that. But we've got Palantir here. Again, you know, pretty decent position, but would have rather had 100 times more, of course. And then Tesla, wow, we absolutely nailed that position right there, man. That was a fantastic idea. 183, as if we wrote that down on here and then didn't put our order in. Oh man, that sucks when that happens. But hey, man, it's another day in Y, and it's another good one over here.
Yeah, it is what it is. Palantir is going to be at the level off 22. This is pre-market high here, so you take what you can get. It just bounced off of it. So it went story to story, or steps to step, or stage to stage, whatever you want to call it. From 20 even, we said 20, 2160, and 2060 were the three SSR levels. It's going to give you the move. If it can hold a higher low, I'm all down with that as well. I got no issue. If it holds a higher low, we'll take a shot at that one again. But we just got the 50-cent move, and we'll take it. Did miss out on that 22 even entry, but you had to be super fast. Bit of a move up in CGC. We said 10-10 is going to be the out, not exactly 10 even. 10-10 hasn't broken just yet. I got eyeballs on NVIDIA, but it's not looking like it's going to make the same breakout that it did yesterday. Very different story for NVIDIA this morning. Disney did not go SSR.
So crazy.
I think it's 104.80 is SSR on Disney. Got really close. 105.50 on Disney. So not the automatic buy for me unless it goes to short sell restricted. Adara?
International paper, IP popping up right off the open here. This coming out right after 9:30 that Brazil's Suzano is making a $42 per share acquisition offer to International paper. So $42 a share acquisition offer for IP, currently trading just below 41 after that pop-up, guys.
All right, despite missing everything, guys, it's still a trophy day. We only have 3 positions, but it's a big one, and we got a big one in Rivian. We're not being stupid about this one, guys. You know, we had missed Tesla, and I really feel sick about it. But at the same time, you know, there'll be other days. We're here every single day. But that sucks. All right, so Rivian, let's see what happens now with RIVN. Hopefully, we can continue to the upside. We just bought some 50s here. We're actually long at 58. We're able to get some out there at 68, 69s. Let's see if it continues to go to the upside. Oh, man, that's really too bad about Tesla. I'm honestly, I like that trade. It's on here as sticky note idea number 2, the 183 short, and I forgot to put the offer in there. So that's going to happen to us, but oh well. If Rivian breaks below 50, though, we're gone. And we nailed this one. We called this one a short all the way back here to 50. So again, without having FOMO, like, oh my God, I missed it, we did take it this time. And yeah, if it loses for us. But we're here to make some money. So let's see if Rivian wants to work off that. I can't even look at Tesla, 179.50, honestly. Man, that's too bad. That was a big trade idea for us, and we missed that one. So, all right, Disney just goes out right away. We did buy some more 105.50s. This name's getting clocked. This will go SSR very, very soon. So watch out for 105 right now on Disney going SSR now. So, oh man. All right, try not to look at Tesla. Palantir's coming back in a little bit here. Not super excited about these levels yet, but it is a nice pullback for Palantir.
Yeah, look, I mean, Palantir 22s comes back. I think that's a bounce spot. I think it's 104.80 or something like that on Disney. So it actually has to break the even dollar level for me to be interested in SSR bounce. But Palantir right back at the 22 can be a play. And look, it got to pre-market highs or resistance levels, and I took it out, but I'll look to get back into it. Dara, what do you have?
CROX, Crocs here, after initially falling to the downside with its ranges for its revenue and EPS falling slightly below expectations for the guidance. Now they are trading up almost 10%. Not a lot of volume on this move, but watch out, CROX, Crocs with an earnings beat, guys.
Wow, they were down like at least a couple of points, Crocs. Good for them. Single-digit earnings last time I checked, and I do like Crocs. I have lots of them myself. Still not at 22 for Palantir. Disney is, I mean, it just wicked 105. I mean, it just gave you the 105 level. Oh, just an update. CGC just came back and printed some 80s, but still a little bit of an upward trend. I tried to add to it right in front of that 110 level on the 15-minute, but didn't get any money fills above the $10 level. Got it on the way up, not on the way down. For CGC, NVIDIA's already flying. Why not short Tesla in the 170s if it's garbage? Well, I mean, punching the low of the day at 938 is never my strategy. But like something like VWAP, usually, if I'm trend trading, I'm going to cancel my offer. I liked it a little tighter to 184.5, 185. I wanted to get in starting at 184.5 on Tesla, and it didn't get anywhere near to it. So we'll have to back off that one, at least temporarily.
All right, so we'll be down a bit on Rivian, but I do want to punch it back long if we can break it one more time here. So there it is. So we're back into the long there on Rivian. That bottom was 38. So I was thinking about holding it all the way back down to there. Again, I just thought maybe we got taken out a little bit on that level. We do have, obviously, that rumor there for potential partnership or whatever it's going to be with Apple. So we'll try it one more time here, as we do have, of course, that event coming through very soon for Rivian, for Apple. Not that they're going to announce anything with Rivian. I wouldn't expect that type of an announcement. But nice move back in there for Rivian, coming back into the 50s. Right now, the professor is back after reading a lot of books. He's professored up right now, so he'll be back in there for the midday show. Good to see Sharif back. All right, Disney's now 40 cents in the money. We lost initially on this one. You know what's going on? Yeah, more of that. More. That wasn't enough. Okay, what's up to Sharif? He's back in the building, and that means the good vibes have returned. All right, there it is. So let's go now to the upside. Rivian is trying to go here. We're long at 10.50. Again, 4 cents in the money. Nice move up for Disney. Again, now up 70 cents off that move. And Palantir, we still wait, baby. We're waiting to put on real shares down here somewhere for Palantir. I do have a bid at 02. To see if we can get into there. We can bid a little bit now, see if we get some 06s, but here comes the move back in for Palantir. We still are waiting for that 21.50 or so, and then the missed trade of the day, as I said already, is Tesla, but we'll wait up there again and see if it bumps. What goes bump in the night? Maybe it's Tesla, but there's Disney again. We are waiting. There we got that. Yes, sir. All right, so Disney threw us for a loop, but we're up on Disney right now here today off of that little bottom pick, and let's go Rivian. Let's go. Back up to the upside, almost positive again on Rivian as we got taken out early. Let's see if we can sort of have these positions make a little bit of money for us here now late. So here we go, man. Palantir back in now to 22 and change. Let's go Rivian.
Yeah, and speaking of Rivian and Palantir and SSR, Lucid was the other one, the SSR bounced. It ticked just down 10% by 1 penny. I'm into it. Just grabbed it at 75 and 76s on the way to the upside. I have a bid at 74, and we're taking it VWAP into the high of the day. We're about to get a reload, I think, in CGC as well, as that's starting to come back in. We did short that one off the $10 level. Once it gets in the high 90s, we're going to reload.
All right, no love for
that one as well. So, Palantir came in a second time there. Came in a second time and could not hold on to the 22. So the next level for me was 21.6 and then $20.60 as well. Nikola new all-time lows. Somehow I'm not surprised. I did not read that report, so I'm going to assume it was not good.
Well, if it's a report from Nikola, it's definitely not good. All right, Disney right now back into your favorite club. It is the Dollar Club one more time. So we'll see about this one. Trying to catch a little bit of wind here is Disney off of that beatdown there today. But look what we did, man. We sat there and bought it. We've showed you key levels. Now let's go here on Disney. Let's get back up to the upside. Take out that 108, my guy. You can do that for sure. Yeah, I'm starting to lose a little bit of faith here with Rivian. But again, we've made some money back. We're pretty fine. It's just, you know, if it can, okay. Yes, sir. Here we go. Fire off the hot dog cannon, baby. Neil, this is $1.50 in the money right now with Disney. So it's a nice little move backside for DIS. And there goes Rivian one more time. So let's get going now back up to the upside. Come on, Rivian. Here we go. Good move off of that 1050. So far, so good here today. It's a big day for your boy. How are you doing, Neil?
About to get back into Palantir. Just got to get the bid above that $22 level. I got my eyes on it like a hawk. I want ones and twos actually printing and not just selling underneath. You have a refresher every time it gets to 22. They just sell back into that 99. They refresh the even dollar level. It's happened 3 or 4 times. Going long ones and twos. It's got to be over that support level. I reloaded CGC up in front of 10 and was able to get some 80s again. But right now Palantir is battling at 22. It's the next one for me. Dara.
Watch out for Microsoft here. MSFT, The Verge is reporting that Microsoft is shutting down some of its Xbox, or its Xbox division is shutting down 4 studios in Bethesda, Maryland. The Xbox game studio head sending an email to staff to let them know. So MSFT to the downside here on some shutdowns of its Xbox studios, guys.
I liked the headline yesterday from Microsoft, and that was a super strong stock. Wow, the same battle is still happening here on Palantir. It's just they're stacking the offer at 99s over and over again, and they just won't let it get past. I can quickly show you guys what's happening. The only thing that we added to was going to be CGC, but every single time it gets to this price, you just see offers 99, offers 98, comes back up to the even. They just will not. None shall pass at that level. That's why I don't want to buy it until the buyers win out that price. And then you can give a stop at that low, going back over to something we are in. Once it gets above, you'll just see me punch in at 2s or 3s. We got to reload 98s on CGC, going to get some 70 bids as well. So when you're risking 10 to 15 cents, you want to take 10 to 15, at least I do. That's going to be the plan of action. There was new Sandviper, what is this, Better Call Saul? Sandviper on Neo was a partnership with BYD. So Rivian actually... Neo just went green, and there is news here. They have a partnership for like lower-priced vehicles to compete with everybody else, and that's with BYD. So good move for them. Well, I don't want to chase that top. Wow, Palantir just gave up that 22. It was back at 89. It's a good thing we didn't go long. I wanted to see strength before I went long. Thank goodness we did not jump the gun.
All right, we are... Again, we have to talk about them, you know, or else you might not notice them. We have Disney right here. We just got out there at VWAP. So that was a long rate down here at 106, out at 107.73. We only have 20% left of this. Rivian, again, we talked about this news. Like when I was saying that Rivian's going downside there, when we talked about it, wait for 1050. I should have just gone short. I don't even know if you have to pay for shorts or not, but that's what we should have done there on Rivian, and we didn't do that. So that's a mistake, not going short. But we'll make money back long on Rivian. We did lose it, though, when it broke 1050, then bought it back. Waiting for a big move here. I'm not sure we're going to get it. So we did put some money back into our pocket there on Rivian, waiting for sort of that superhero move. My out was going to be in and around 1040, so a little bit of a dump in again for Rivian, and I feel like we'll be able, we will not be able to, we will sit there and buy a little bit more down in and around 45 or so for Rivian, and then if we break, then we wind up breaking. Remember, Let Loose event coming soon, very, very soon. That's 10 o'clock, so that should be something to pay attention to. Here comes Palantir, almost getting close to our level to buy a little bit more.
Yeah, I still have eyeballs on Palantir. Just one quick. We did have Piton sitting in a higher low, and then it broke support, so that was it right at the open. It's right back above the $4 level. So looking for a re-entry. I want it holding VWAP, and once it does that, I want to get back into this one over VWAP. I want to be buying on strength, not on that weakness. Always got to have an out, but at the end of the day, if it's going to trend up, the story is that a couple of private equity firms are allegedly interested in buying Peloton, which right now would be cheap. CGC, I'm not reversing long through 1010. We did get some out the 80s, never got any 70s out, and now it looks like it wants to scream higher. NVIDIA, no breakout today, I guess. It's just not going to be an NVIDIA day to the long side. So there was no real breakout of the local high. Still trying to hold VWAP. It can always come back and take out that 918, but for now, we're just going to have to be patient. And Palantir, I mean, it's still holding the low, so it's not completely out of the pocket yet. 2160 is the next level where I'd try the long or back through that 22. Looks like it's going to make another run at this $22 level.
Yeah, I really hope so right now. So let's see what happens. I'm still down there at that 2160 or so area as well, but looking for a bump back up now, of course, is Palantir. So I'm only in Disney, Palantir, and Rivian, so names that were on the sticky note. Let's go back over to Amazon and have a quick little look-see to see what's going on over there. All right, so we did have a 188 bid. Unfortunately, our bid is at 188.02, and the bottom of the day there is 188.25. So if this market does want to come back in right now, we will have a potential bid there for Amazon lurking. So it looks like Rivian is going to go lower right now. Man, oh man, we should have just played the short and still trying to catch some of these dip buys into that. So I'm going to set up a stop right now in and around 1034-ish to get out of everything, because now we're starting to break. I mean, we're right at this low of the day here. We're in it at 48. So it'll be a hit, and it would kind of suck, of course. We never want to take hits. But again, Rivian right now having a hard, there it goes, having a hard time going. We knew it, man. You can't you put lipstick on a pig, it's still a pig. And we've talked about that over and over again here on the show a couple times. So that's what Rivian is. We called that up here. Just sad that we didn't go short, but that's okay. Still there, won't lose that much, but there it goes, we'll wind up losing. And Palantir, again, instead of looking long all the time, all you have to do is look short. 22 bucks has been the best play so far here today anyone could have had. It just gave you another short. It was a short again right there. Palantir continues to go lower now as well. So Rivian gave it up, man.
Well,
we knew that short was there. Sorry about that, guys.
Yeah, I'm watching out for Lucid, obviously, because Rivian downside, market is turning. Oh my goodness, NVIDIA's going to take 900 in the other direction, by the way. Lucid, which we're still in on the SSR bounce, it didn't break out. So it gave you the higher low off VWAP into that SSR level, which is technically 73, but 72 was the print, and it needs to break out this high. They did report. Rivian is after the bell tonight, but Lucid already had their report, and it was already to the downside. So going to get some offers out there. You know, I was looking for the bounce play, the one that worked on GME on Palantir. It's just not going to give it to you, unfortunately. But that's more of a yet thing. Whoa, 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 NVIDIA going to find a short here in AMD. NVIDIA just tanked through 900. It's at 895.
Good.
And AMD's at VWAP. Sorry, guys. This is what NVIDIA is doing right now. So no breakout, no love. Thank goodness it didn't set up the breakout, although that's a good thing about breaks. You know, sometimes they win, sometimes they lose, but if they don't break, you don't have to take it. That is absolutely tanking, and you're still at VWAP on AMD. Yeah, that doesn't make sense.
Yeah, we had looked for a move here on NVIDIA to come through. So let's wait to see if we do get that move exactly on NVIDIA. I'm going to refresh my Benzinga Pro because I don't think it was
I haven't heard
necessarily hot yet here today. So we'll watch out for that. I'm just refreshing it. Here's the Benzinga Pro platform. I want to hear, there's like a live squawk that you can get from this. So you just drop this down Whoops, drop it down. Push play. I've restarted it, so it was always playing. So we'll hear if there's any news hitting at all. Make sure the site is not muted, which it is not. So now we'll go back into it and see what happens here for that. All right, yeah, it looks like, yeah, Rivian again. Do we really want to test these? I don't think so. Let's leave it alone. We did miss a 75 bid there. We tried to buy a little bit more. We were at 60s for Palantir. We missed that dip buy opportunity right now on that one. Shout out to some of the guys behind us. There's like 2 or 3 green traders today, and one of them is Obi. So we're going to give a big shout out to Obi right there and do that. Yeah, we'll try to get green on this side coming up right now. We're waiting on Palantir. We're still green on the name, but we did take that hit on Rivian, so we do have a realized L over here. That's about that. So we're just going to have to wait. I still have pretty much confidence in this, but you know, not overly right now that Palantir is going to hold these levels. So Disney's been a good one so far, and we're going to go, it looks like Palantir pending 142 over here. How's your day been going?
I have flat CGC. Obviously, Peloton was like a quick loss. Palantir is a small loss on that one, but relative to what we'd like to have been trading on it, like this feels like that first day on Carvana, where I came in thinking, okay, I'm going to take multiple shots at Palantir, and the one that went was the one that I got the least of. So it is what it is. And then the other 2 trades don't work out, but you end up basically flat. That said, I don't know what happened to NVIDIA there, but if you're going to show me a false breakout on AMD and then a consolidation at VWAP and NVIDIA tanks $15, AMD's going to do something. You know, like either it's going to hold and be relatively strong. I elected to make the VWAP short in here, risking about 30 cents, and we just got 70 pennies in there. I did not expect that. I thought I'd be trading NVIDIA, not AMD this morning, but I didn't see that move coming quite that quickly. Down to 893 was the low on NVIDIA. I'm going to take some more out in front of 155 on Advanced Micro Devices, but that was quite the move down and a shocker on NVIDIA, which had been so strong yesterday, and then look at that massive drop. It gave up the entire range. So I jumped over to AMD. We're now 75 cents in the money. The first thing I did when I saw that wick was like, what can I get into? It just so happened that AMD was right there at VWAP.
All right, there we go. So there's a winner there. We got Disney over here. We got AMD over there. So far, so good. Let's wait to see what happens. We're still $1 in the money right now with Disney. Trying to let that thing go higher here. Rivian, too bad, man, because now it's right back, and we would actually have been positive on this name if it broke through 50, but we're still not there yet. Could be the short. Tesla was the mistrade of the day. As it was written, 183. It hits 183 and then tanks off of that. It would be a completely different day over here if we have that, but we don't, and that's trading, right? You
Executed.
Can't, like you can't have them all. We just have to have good ones. And so far here today, we're stuck with what we're trading. Palantir, Tesla, Amazon was another name. Anything else moving around? I do have NVIDIA. We wrote down NVIDIA. 890 was a level that we wanted to look at. It got down to 892. So again, missed opportunity by a couple bucks there as this goes up 7 from there right now. But yeah, so far, not that great. Like we said, we'll try to get green on these plays. And I keep going back to Rivian because part of me wants to still buy this name here today, as you guys know, but we don't want to get too carried away. Let me refresh my scanners and everything like that and see if we can find something. Come on, Palantir, let's go. We're long at 97
Executed.
right now. Let's see if Palantir can get going. We've held it this whole way. We've been dip buying. We've been doing our best here for Palantir. I still think this name could be a real good one for us. It just needs to finally get going here. Palantir, we're locked and loaded. Looking for a nice move here higher. Breaking through O's would be the first part of it.
I'm still looking for that O's break.
Well, you're going to get it. So right now, get ready to get long through O's as Palantir's here at $22.
Yeah, this 99 cents. I'm back at VWAP just held on, almost said Palantir. Peloton. Yeah, I might make this mistake a few times. Palantir, Peloton, both in play today. But it just held above VWAP. I was able to get some in at 16s and 17s, average price 17. I'm going to give it just underneath VWAP, but as you just mentioned, Palantir is right back at that 22 level. Just know that, I'm not doing it intentionally if I make that mistake, but I just want this sucker getting through the 22. It's already put in a nice wick bottom, so the 2180 on the way back could make a little bit of sense. You never know where your bread is going to be buttered, but at the end of the day, like, you see a chip name move like that, I'm going to get into AMD. I should have also double-checked Micron and Intel, but underneath 155, I want to let this ride. AMD had a nice bottom in the afternoon at 154 quarters. And all the chip names got a rally right at the end of the day. I want to take it to that level on advanced micro devices. As I said, I probably should have looked at a couple of other names at the same time. You could have had VWAP on Micron. It didn't move quite as much, but that was a pretty clean trade. As NVIDIA just gave up 900 again. Looks like we're headed southbound. Only have one short on today. I can't sit here and be like I had a million short ideas. There were a lot of SSR bounce plays, let's be real. So you had the setups. Thankfully, we were able to find AMD, but that's just how it goes sometimes.
Again, the main short that we had on was Tesla, which hit basically perfect and didn't have it. So we'll wait to see if that comes back up. We'll take a little bit of a bid here on Palantir if we can. I was just looking at Apple. A nice day for Apple, man. I mean, we do have their event starting just soon, up 1.25%. This is why I kind of said stay away, other than potentially buying. What did I say? The pre-market bottoms, that came in right there to 183. So that could be something to look at. I'm going to stay away from Apple until we just hear more about their report or their conference that they're having right now. I'm not even getting filled at 90, so I'm going to punch in a little bit here on Palantir and also put some more bids a little bit lower, because when we break, we're going to break, and there goes the break. So here it is into 2183 again. Here comes a move down. So they're selling Palantir off of that 22 top level. Remember what I said again, the best trade so far on Palantir today has just been the the short off 22. Well, there it is again. It went to literally 222, and you could have got all you wanted short there. And I was just thinking break long. So we'll wait to see now if we can get into that 2163 level as the market's coming in, and that's going to lead me towards hopefully an NVIDIA long at some point here against 890. So we'll see if that's coming in right now. 891.50 or so is where we're bidding. See if we can catch a little bit of a dip buy opportunity here on NVIDIA trying to come through. So again, nice move down in the futures, starting to hit. I said today on the sticky note, I didn't see any catalysts really, and I feel like we've been dead right. The market is not doing anything. I mean, it had a nice move, and then there's the move now down in for NVIDIA and company. Let's see what we can have happen right now.
I accidentally typed Alibaba when I meant to go into Boeing, and now I really wish I hadn't typed Alibaba. Baba's down 3% and could be back to that $78 level that was so key in a little bit. Boeing is down 1%. They got bad news. Everybody heard it yesterday in the afternoon. Unfortunately, there was like falsified tests or something like that.
That was a good money.
But either way, like the short was great. It's not falling apart when the market's going down, so that is worth looking at here. I'm into Lucid, but Peloton just cannot hold on to VWAP. Look, I know there's other stuff moving like G-Sun and all that good stuff. First update on Lucid, the SSR bounce play that did come into play here. Just got some out there at 79s. Going to take some out at 81s, 82s. Actually, I'm sitting at 83, but probably going to put an offer at 81s, 82s. And if it breaks the top, maybe this is the squeeze play. That would be pretty ironic that Lucid with the bad report goes squeezing, and Rivian with the rumor does absolutely nothing. Let's go to the desk. We've got happening now on the start of the Apple event, too.
That Apple event should be starting at any moment now. Right now, they're just playing some music as we head into the Let Loose event. Expected to have some iPads, so definitely keep an eye on that. I'll let you guys know if I hear anything coming from that event once it officially begins. In terms of other things to keep an eye on today, we still do have earnings on watch. We had Fed's Kashkari as well, saying that the Fed's monetary policy might not be restrictive enough. So continuing with his generally more hawkish overtone there for Fed's Kashkari. No major economic data today beside the consumer credit number. We're going to be getting at 3 p.m. So keep an eye on that. But other than that, some Fed's Kashkari speak, and also a lot of earnings to keep an eye on. Crocs right now initially gapping down, now up about 9% on an earnings beat here for CROX. We have Datadog opposite here. They did have slightly lower than expected range here in the lower end of their range for their Q2 revenue and EPS outlook, down about 12% for DDOG. And last but not least, you're not an earnings move, but Peloton falling back a little here, but trading up about 15% on this news that they may have private equity firms eyeing them for a buyout. So keep an eye on PTON.
Now for Google, nice little move upside for Google.
Now?
Right there on Google off that button. What's up, Adara? Looking good in the corner there. All right, so nice move up to 170 right now for Google. Just trying to buy something off this dip opportunity into 169. We'll buy a little bit more here. I don't want, again, the market could be turning here, or it could just be bouncing around. And so I'm going to say the bouncing around part is something more that I'm about here, because until we really, I mean, we can sort of try to zoom in just a little bit here. That 18,160 is what we need to have break. And then even when you break that, whoa, where did the chart go? Even when we break that, we still have some kind of support down at 17.9. So that means that's going to be a huge drop. Anywhere from, again, the big level is 18,000, but you're up here at 18.2, trying to take out that top wick right now and really just bouncing around. I mean, here's a zoom in on what we're seeing right now. It's just hovering. So not much happening in the NASDAQ. I still feel like we said this would be a very strong stock pickers market here today. So I'm still feeling that way. We were a little too early on Rivian. This will be our L right now. Got taken out basically at the bottom of the day again. We tried it there, lost, well, it was basically flat on the first one, made back what we lost, and then lost it right there from 1050 down to 1038. So that was a bad stop for us, not a bad stop, but that was the stop for us, up to 1060. So sort of that is what it is right there. We'll make a little bit of money back, obviously, on Google, as you can see where this name's starting to go. Nice little bottom pick there. Let's wait for 170.50 on Google. And Disney's still that dollar in the money. Palantir trying to go as well down here, long 21.93. I was bidding 75, but I guess that may not come into play. So let's bid some 79s here as we're getting deeper here into Palantir pullback. I don't know, man. We're back down near the bottom of the day here for PLTR.
It's close to that next level. I mean, it's either, like I said, it's either for me above 22 or it's at 21.6. It's at 7s. Well, it bounced off 7s. It's at 79 now. It could come into play. I've got the trailing stop in. AMD just wicked and bounced off of afternoon support levels. So if it breaks higher into VWAP, like I'll get out here 155.10, try to lock in that buck, and then move on to the next. The other thing that's happening is a bit of a higher low on NVIDIA. So NVIDIA is holding 895 and trying to get through. So I'm going to get the trail out there on AMD, just kind of take it and run. Remember, the entire reason for this trade was NVIDIA had tanked 15 bucks. And this was a nice lower consolidation level where you could take the consolidation, giving it back into that local high, and just look for a sympathy play. So we've already gone ahead and done that. Lucid is still trying to go. It just made another tag of that top, but I already took some out of 79. Now we're looking for the 80s. Bad earnings for them. The Apple event has started. We'll keep I haven't heard a thing out of it, by the way. Like, I haven't heard anything from Benzinga. They're just talking about iPads. I suppose we'll get some pricing. But Apple's given up a couple of dollars in the last little bit. So be careful if you're trading this one. We'll look to give you any news that we do get when it comes to Apple. And Palantir is now down at 21.6. So this was the next level. It was support, and if you're wondering why it was support, just go back on your 15-minute chart. The last bounce it had was May 1st off 21.6. I'm looking for a higher low off this 21.60.
Yeah, we finally into our sticky note level of 2160. So, we're watching out for it right here. Of course, we're long at 83 when this has to happen. All right, let's wait to see now what wants to happen with Palantir and some of these lower takes right now. Google still working, Disney coming back a little bit. Now that I see Google fading just a little bit here, I'm wondering about putting an offer. Let's put an offer at 25. I was waiting for higher than that. We talked about 50, but we just kind of double topped there at 50. So we did miss that opportunity to come in there for Google up there at that high side. So here we go, man. It's put up or shut up time for PLTR, and it looks like it wants to shut up all the longs and get to the downside and continue to print out for the bears. So again, congratulations for any of the bears out there that have been able to make a little bit of money, or hopefully a lot of money, off of this move back down. We talked about that 22 fade and how good that was early, and then it happened again. We were able to get some out, but now we're dug in here into Palantir on this bid. So there it is. Yeah, you're welcome, Matthew, man. This guy's #1 trade is the Tesla short off 183. Salute to you and high five up on that one. We should have it, but we don't. You know, but you do. And for me, honestly, that's #2. I'd rather make money for myself than for you guys. But I am happy that you guys are seeing the success that we've been having lately and putting on some of the trades. So, you know, all is well so far here. Let's go Palantir, man. Let's see if we can make something happen here on PLTR upside play.
It just made the bounce right off that. It was actually 60 evens, so that's that level on the 15-minute. I started putting offers above 75. The second I did that, like it goes up 10 cents and pulls right back in there. So you are pulling right back. Britt says, surprise, Neil's not into Intel. There's a really good answer as to why. The reason I traded AMD short was because NVIDIA was tanking. I looked at Intel, and Intel was doing this while NVIDIA was tanking, holding on to VWAP positively and actually trending up. So, you know, I wanted to short a chip name in sympathy to NVIDIA. This didn't give a setup, so you don't take it. So that was actually a really easy decision not to be involved in Intel. Sometimes it's there, sometimes it's not. You know, and this time, I'm not going to sit here and digest why Intel's strong, but the market, you know, the market actually is up 0.3%, the NASDAQ, and Intel's had a rough ride of it as it goes. But AMD gave the win already. Now we're back into Palantir. We traded 22s, and then the only other level we had underneath that was going to be 21.6, so we've waited for that. Once it gets into the mid-70s, it's going to start taking some out on the way to, on the road, I would say, to VWAP. But yeah, lots is definitely moving here. I mentioned Boeing, I thought could be a secondary play. It's now starting to go and break some lows here on Boeing. Afternoon support, there wasn't much of any, but after that news happened, 176 was the higher low. If Boeing loses that, I think they're in a world of trouble. Adara, what's up?
Lots of iPad-related announcements as expected coming from the Let's Loose events. Tim Cook saying that this is the biggest day for iPads since their initial introduction. We now have Melody Kuna, who's the director of iPads for Apple, saying that they're adding the M2 to their iPad Airs. So M2 on some of the iPad Airs here. Keep an eye on AAPL, guys.
Yay, thank you, Rob.
NVIDIA's trying to go? No.
All right, here we go. NVIDIA 900 again right now. So, yeah, wow. We waited for 890 again, but we missed it. We were at 891.50. We got as low as 894 there. That very bottom was 89 deuce there to the bottom. So we'll wait for that one to come through. Google, we missed that out by 5 pennies, by 3 pennies. All right, so Apple's out right now with their Let Loose event. We talked about not trading off of this. I think that's the right thing to do. Let's just wait for it to settle down and for that event to be done, and then we'll start to look at Apple. I like the name, man, up 1.1%. I think that Warren Buffett sell, all that stuff was way overblown. So we'll wait to see what happens there now with this name. But it's Palantir that's in a world of hurt again. Back down into 2160s again. It does not want to get going. This name is looking pretty sick, and I think this does break lower and lower and lower right now. Palantir can't get going. Every single move up keeps getting sold down. You're down 14% right now. SSR bounce is now obviously over with. So, yeah, we're kind of just sitting duck right now here, waiting for it to either hit us out for quite a red day, or a nice little bounce back up to the upside. But like I said, we're here to trade, and we've been really doing well over the last little while. So, you know, we can afford an L here, but never want to take it. Palantir coming back in. Should have just turned those rose-colored glasses into red, and then we would have been a little bit better on this one. So nice downside move now for Palantir. There's the new pricing for the iPad Air at $599 coming out right now. So again, that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't know if that's a good price or not.
Well, I mean, I was looking for price action off of. They tell you the price and what does the stock do. I don't mean, not my opinion. I mean, I have an iPad, but someone else bought it for me like 50 million years ago. So it's not moving. Apple did not break the range on the pricing, which we kind of thought would be the impetus for something to happen. Disappointing there. But GameStop, thank you in the chat for a couple of people pointing this one out. It's trying to go. We like V-shaped recoveries on squeeze names, and GameStop is also short tail restricted. So day 2, it just put in a bid off 15 all the way up to double tap 16 even. Yeah, this is lining up for a 16 break while everyone's looking left. Well, I mean, looking at other stocks.
I knew that was gonna
GameStop is
happen.
right
No.
there. Palantir's not going to hold on to the 60. So there it goes.
No.
And I actually yeah, there we go. I'm just going to punch out. My stop did not hit, so I just punched out manually 1 cent lower than I should have, but it doesn't matter. We play the 60 level. We're going to take the L. At the end of the day, it's been a good setup, but the best trade was that first 22, but that was the hardest one to get because it tagged underneath to like 21.90, and the second I tried to go long, I didn't get anything until like 22 11s or 12s, and you couldn't get the evens. Maybe, you know what, a program probably would have done it, or like a stop order would have had a better chance. I was trading it manually. The stop order was probably the way to go, actually.
Yeah, it kind of sucks because we'll only have a couple positive names here today. AMD, Neil, Disney for me, Google for me. And other than that, man, it's kind of like just sitting here.
But just keep your risk management or just wait for the play.
Yeah.
That's why I went to GameStop, because GameStop was a great bounce play yesterday. And it's got like a typical breakout setup. Like it's just, there's your higher low, it could bounce off VWAP. Come to the chart for a second. Yeah, like, there's your higher low, it could bounce off VWAP, and then you're sort of taking out tops on a squeeze name, which is what you'd rather be doing, which is playing off of some strength. At the end of the day, like AMD, thankfully, is going to be able to make up for most of it, and then CGC and Lucid are basically like flat trades. But I'm still looking for that next trade. I liked GameStop yesterday on a bounce. You're not going to get 15s now, but a breakout through 16. This local high is actually 16.03, so I'd probably take an 05 break instead of an even 16 break on GameStop here.
All right, we're trying to be patient here as much as we possibly can. I don't know if you guys can tell that. So we're going to try to do that to our best of our ability, especially with Palantir. All right, nice little bounce up off of the 50 period here for Google. Let's see if it wants to continue to go. Hopefully this market does continue to do a little something special here and get back to the upside. We had said this on our sticky note today that no real reason. There was not much economic news hitting. There was very, very little Fed speak. And realistically, not much happening at all, except for me picking the wrong stocks right now. Grab some Uber and do your thing. Yeah, you know what? I mean, yeah, we are. I mean, I'm still looking for more opportunities. The Rivian one, it's too bad because Rivian's really bounced. And we got out at the bottom there for a hit. But at the same time, it's like I'm waiting to see if we can get bounces basically just in this market. We held VWAP at 18.2, but look what we're doing now, back to flat, or back to the 50 period and not trying to go. So that's a problem. Palantir just broke through 60 and then just got hit right back down again. So every time Palantir goes up, it gets hit back in. We really only had one run in this name all day. There was the initial sort of bounce early, that's fine. But then there was this little run there where we were able to take something out at 98s or 99s there. And then since then, it's just been nothing. We had one little move back there where we got long on, and now there's the dip into 50s. And it just looks like it wants to continue the sell-off to the downside. But as Neil said, you got to make sure you have some winners on board as well. So we'll spend some money now. We're 70 cents in the money on Disney, and we're 50 cents in the money on Google. So if you followed me, hopefully you're 2 for 2. And then as we discussed, share size management, very, very key. But again, if you trade with small shares and you take small hits, then you don't have big wins either, right? So you got to be careful with that. Watch your share size, but make sure that you put on big shares or at least more shares on opportunities that you like. So to me, that's the whole thing. Find the better opportunities. I like this Google dip, so we got some shares there. We would have liked to get more if we came down to 50, so hopefully that will happen. But yeah, we are going to take an L, and a pretty good one here on Palantir if it keeps on going lower, and it looks like we're pennies away from breaking that 21.50, so it looks like we'll take about a 28-cent hit on a position that's, it's not like a maximum position, but it's a pretty big one here for Palantir. So yeah, we'll lose what we made. Actually, on this trade alone, we'll lose our whole day yesterday. So, you know, oh God, now there's someone chasing Palantir down. So yeah, it looks like
that's just because they can't hit the bid.
and to me, that's proper. To me, that's proper risk management. You know, willing to on a day lose what you made. Yesterday, we made a lot of money there late yesterday. So we'll give a little bit back, go flat over the last 2 days, and then work on it from there. So we'll see what happens here with PLTR. Looking like it just wants to, it is going to break. And I have it to get out at 75% of this as we break through 50s. So yeah, it's going to be bad. That level's not going to hold. So it's going to be gone. Breaking through 50 there for Palantir. And it's a give back. And that's real honest trading from a trader that makes money. You have to risk money to make money. So that's what we're doing here today. And congratulations to once again to all the shorts. We could be humble enough to admit that we've lost on this, the amount that we've lost, and to congratulate all that sort of went the other way. So congratulate to everybody there on Palantir that went there. This is what we do. It's real trading from a real trader. Right back at you guys.
Yeah, that's what it's all about. And I think, like, at the end of the day, like, it's not gonna. It hasn't broken 21.50 yet. I'm about to say it's not going to hold, but I had 3 levels I wanted to trade it at. The next one is so far down that it's almost unlikely it gets to $20.50, but it's not completely impossible that that's going to be the case. But you risk what you do on the other SSR plays, and it's been one that has worked out in the past, but this time it's just a little bit too heavy. I am back into AMD here, just watching NVIDIA try to hold on to the 900 as AMD just got right back into VWAP, wicked VWAP, so I jumped in with basically the same short, giving it to the local high, and we'll just go back into it. The first time we took it, we got trailed out of the last little bit, and then it gets right into VWAP. If there's strength in the chip names, it's weird to say, but Intel just took out the high of the day and looks like a buy the dip scenario. The market, the NASDAQ's green and heading toward the top. So there's some things that are strong here when you're not catching falling knives, and I'm here to tell you that the Intel, for once, is actually one of those stocks. The breakout was at 31.25. I just canceled the VWAP bid, and I'm going to look to get into this one on the first available dip. Intel has now broken through at least the recent resistance, and you have a couple of days and a slight upward trend in this stock, believe it or not. Adara?
M4 being announced for these Apple iPad Pros, skipping from M2 from the air to M4 for the Apple Pros for what they're going to be powered by. 50% faster CPU than the M2. So interesting look there for M4 as iPad Pro AAPL, guys.
Ooh.
Yeah, it's going to be great news for Apple, I think, in the long term when we actually get the real. I mean, everyone's a little bit excited for this, but I think everyone's going to be really excited for June, because I think that's kind of the bigger event. The price action is now starting to go upside on Apple. Like, it just took VWAP, so I wanted it to make a move post-event and then try to join it. So if it holds VWAP, like, whatever you think about it, I think you just want to work with the trend. The only thing new I got into was AMD, as you guys can see here, as that's right back into VWAP. And Boeing, it said there could be a continuation for Boeing if it failed support at 176. Like, yeah, I guess that was the right level. Boeing did the other thing. It bounced clean off 176. No flat bottom break, bounces clean. It's back at those highs. Okay. We'll have to wait out Boeing.
Yeah, Boeing, pretty bad move there over the last couple months for Boeing.
SPR reported.
They'll figure that out. Yeah, Spirit Airlines. Spirit Airlines trying to go bankrupt so Boeing can buy them dirt cheap. That's probably the play there that's happening, I believe. Okay, so here go. Oh shoot! I didn't get the order in. I wanted to take Apple long through. Okay, so we'll just punch in right there. I want to take 25 long, breaking this level right there. through. But they're still going on right now. So, you know, they're still talking that chip, seeing a nice spike in activity. So let's go back in. Oh, well, not back in. We're into Apple now for the first time. We want to play the strength. We really love this name. We're long this name at 169, and right now it's 185. We were going to sell a little bit here today because I was like, you know what, I gotta pay for some things here. These kids of mine, wow. But yeah, we'll watch out for this one. Like we just got my son in golf camp for 1 week there over the summer. So we have hockey camp, golf camp. There's a Dungeons and Dragons camp he's doing, which should be really fun for the nerd in him. But yeah, so far so good here.
Strategy game, Fabian.
It is a strategy game, yep. And here we go to the upside now. We are long Apple. We're waiting to get something out at 50 now on an Apple log. So switch our game up. Palantir downside, obviously. Let's see what happens now with Apple. Hopefully some upside love. I'm sitting there at 48, and it just keeps on bouncing literally off of 45. So hopefully one more bounce up, and we'll get that. And then dropping this out if we do go back into VWAP for a minute there. Apple 183.50 or so. Watching out for that play now.
Get up, Apple. I wanted to go because, I mean, obviously we all own it in our long-term account. But yeah, a little surprised.
And swing account.
Oh, yeah, well, some in the swing account. I only own it in my RRSP, not in the TFSA is what we refer to as a swing account. I just got a first leg out there in AMD. I'm going to put another bid at 155 even. We're short at 84s here as NVIDIA is right back into lows, and we made the same trade off of VWAP. NVIDIA is very weak right now, down 3% and still going. Let's get to the small cap recap at the screen with Adara.
Quite a few small cap runners today. This one, Motorsport Games, MSMG, running up ahead of its earnings expected tonight after the close. Keep an eye on this one. Oh, sorry, MSGM. We also have next up here ZKIN, ZK International Group, closing its $5 million financing with CF Opportunity, priced at $159 a share. So ZKIN. Last but not least, quite a few smaller cap earnings names today and watch, including Hims and Hers Health, HIMS. But up here I have Celsius Holdings, CELH. This one trading lower, but definitely giving some opportunities here after posting a sales miss and EPS beat here, guys.
Hims and Hers. You know what? There was a couple people on the floor looking at that stock, but yeah, giving up the gains. But we always like when something makes a good reversal bottom. I talked about it on GameStop, but yeah, I don't know if that's going to be enough. GameStop is right back in the pocket. It just bounced off VWAP. So that breakout's still in play. It just hasn't happened yet on GME. And Intel just put a heck of a reversal in there. But a lot of people, you guys, you're looking at NVIDIA. I'm watching them too because I'm in the short end on AMD at the VWAP because it's set up nicely. I came in thinking we'd have another potential breakout play on NVIDIA where I'd try to join the trend. And what happens when it doesn't break and put any higher lows in? Well, there's no trend up. The trend is to the downside. So we're only in one short as this continues to fall on NVIDIA. As long as that happens, I'm going to hang on to this in AMD. Palantir is still sort of just chilling out. And Rivian, what are you doing? It's very, very close to yesterday's close where it would give it all back at 10.25. That's about the only level at this point that would be left to try to defend any kind of a long. But NVIDIA's trying to put some kind of a bid in, and I still want to get some VWAP on Intel. For whatever reason, it's trending to the upside. The reasons don't matter. The trend is what does at this point.
I actually thought the Apple event was sort of done there, but they're still unveiling more and more things here. Coming after Adobe apparently right now is Apple. So we're long here. It's right into VWAP right now. So yeah, okay. It's not a huge position, but we have a position now, and it looks like this continues to go down. I thought I wanted to wait until the end of this thing, but it looks like that's not happening right now. So here comes a move down in for Apple. Let's get out if it breaks 50 and just regroup on that one. I thought it was over with, and it's not yet. So it's only a half hour in. I don't know why I would have thought that. But there it goes to the upside now. To the downside into 183.50 goes Apple. Not great. Where are we long? We're long at O's here. So let's if we can get something out at 80, maybe we'll just try to get out a piece. And then if it goes back up to the upside on some kind of good news, then great. But we came pretty close to getting stopped out there. So if we can make halfway back on not a very smart play, it's like being inside something, like when there's an earnings call or something like that. I mean, this is maybe even more dangerous than an earnings call because of pricing announcements that nobody knows about and new products. So we're going to get out here if it breaks below 185 or 183.50, which is going to happen right now. So a 50-cent cut here on Apple looks like will be in store for us. On that, see, here it comes, on that break. So I'm not hearing anything in my ear right now, but yeah, talking a little bit about Adobe and I guess Apple releasing some kind of a software competitor, maybe, I don't know, but Adobe's nicely done.
Well, the weird news is,
okay, so they've made it better, is what they're saying. So right now, from Ramin there in our ear, Apple always has some kind of a product like that. But for right now, that's one of the new adjustments or enhancements to their new iPad, I guess. So here we go. Nice move to the downside. Looks like it wants to take 183.50. We're out when it does, which apparently is going to be right now. My bad on that one. We want to wait for Apple to settle down. There it goes. So we'll wait for this one to settle down here. After the report is when we want to get in on this.
yeah, and not settling down because logic would dictate that the stock that's strong today is not NVIDIA. It's somehow GameStop. We're trying to go green again. It did the wipeout bottom 15, higher low. There's the breakout. I'm long 7 change, like 7 quarters in here after it took out 16.05. And if it's going to squeeze, it's going to have to get past that afternoon zone, like 16.40. Remember the breakout in the afternoon? That one that was like so quick and like instantly went 30, 40 cents in the money and then retraced the move? So I think that spot has to be where we get to. It did the same thing at the close and did the same thing right in here where you just had to get that quick move. Looking for something very similar on GME. It is short sell restricted. I mean, that can't hurt it at the end of the day. But when it's all said and done, looking pretty weak yesterday, but now getting a bit of a relief rally. AMD, we scalped some more out there when NVIDIA, here, I might as well just put these charts side by side. NVIDIA put in a nice wick bottom and then bounced, got back above that 895 zone. And when it did, I took some more out when this had another higher low. So I don't think AMD is as weak as I would like off of this NVIDIA sympathy. So we're going to get a more shallow win,
may resume
and I'm
in
not
less than a
going to
minute.
reload it. So I'm just going to get out, stay green on it. It came out of nowhere to be a good one for me today because NVIDIA happened to reverse nastily to the downside. But now that NVIDIA is showing strength, I'm just going to get out if this takes
DKNG.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I'm not hearing nothing out of that Benzing. I'll have to restart mine like you did. But Apple looks like it's moving back in. That event, I don't know what time it's done, but I suspect that might be a good zone for a retracement play on Apple.
Yeah,
Whenever it does
we're gonna
finish.
try right now to go a little long on Apple down here, but yeah, the long has not been right. That's for sure. We'll see. I mean, good thing we got out there on the 200 period break. We've said that before. Sometimes we should be getting short, when all hell breaks loose on some of these names. All right, here we go. Apple trying to figure it all out right now. But if you're going to look for some levels, we are back into the 200 period. The 50 period here on the 5-minute chart. 182.50 is a huge level, I thought, for Apple. I mean, we bounced around there basically yesterday as the top and then started to come back into the close into 181, made our way all the way back to 182, and then now today, a huge move up. And I was surprised by that move up. We had sort of talked a little bit about that, but here comes Apple right back into 182. We're going to look out for 182.50 right now, but yeah, nice little push down. Good thing we had gotten out of that, but we're back in it, which doesn't appear to be a very good thing. So we'll now wait to see if Apple can get back up to the upside. We're going to leave Palantir alone. A quick check on another stock that really hasn't done much since the open. Nice move down for Rivian. Another bottom there, but to try to stay away from that one might be a different story. We were a buyer of Roblox down there at 34 or so. Wow, $41 right now for Roblox. Huge move heading into earnings for this name as well. There's the move down to $34, $35. We didn't get long. It's just these were the levels that we were talking about on Roblox. We still own this one in our account from a long time ago. That's Roblox. We initially bought that on IPO, then bought some a little bit higher. And we had I remember buying this thing at $90, and then they had like a $40 earnings call. It went up to like $130 or $140, and that was like, wow. And I think that was pretty much near the tops for that one. Okay, I mean, hey man, maybe we get Apple back here a little bit. Let's put something in and around 06s for a nice little move back upside right now and take a little bit of money back. We'll be red, obviously, unless this name can get back into the 184 range. But right now, Apple trying to bounce. We'll take some pieces out. Actually, I'll have to watch out for that comment. We should be able to get green above there. Uh-oh. Stormy Daniels about to testify. Let's see what's going on with DJT right now as there's a storm brewing in this account. Right now, 49 coming through. Watch out for DJT, and let's watch out for Adara as we go over to the desk.
Crypto apparently looking like it's going to be finishing its post-halving danger zone of the 3-week period after the halving, according to some Bitcoin analysts here, as reported by Cointelegraph, basically saying that the fact that Bitcoin's now risen above that 65,000 mark as of yesterday, there could be some opportunities now for future strength in Bitcoin, especially after that post-halving period of volatility that we had with that halving on April 20th. Bitcoin itself right now back below that 64,000 area, just treading water above 63,000. Last few days, we've seen these wicks to the upside followed by closes a little bit lower. So Bitcoin seeing some strength above 64, but not necessarily able to hold it in the last few days. Ethereum here also a little bit weaker on the day, down about 1.5%. Just above 3,000 level, and a lot of these other crypto-related names pretty weak as well. Ripple up about just under 1%, but Dogecoin, Cardano, Shiba Inu, Avalanche, Solana, all to the downside, guys.
Yeah, just keep an eye on MAR in the afternoon, as I mentioned at the open.
GGR.
I know it's been range-bound, but it is supposed to be added to an index, so you might see a little bit extra volatility going into that close. That's specific to MAR, it has nothing to do with anything else in crypto. GME, again, the breakout doesn't go on this one, but I'm going to have my tight stop. Relatively speaking, a breakout's going to be different from a dip buy, but it cannot hold above that 15.90, so we risk about 15 pennies on that one and just take it out. Like we have AMD, and that's about it. And I'm flat because every single other one adds up to what we got there on AMD, and even Advanced Micro Devices. Like suddenly, like I just made. It's not the top wick. I mean, the high of the day is the top wick, but on that last move, when NVIDIA was back through 895 and tracking to 900, I'm like, okay, let's get out of here and tighten it up and not reload. And AMD still in the same pocket. I'm into Intel going long into some VWAP, and it looks to me like Disney is still, like it's still tracking. It has not turned SSR, but if it were to punch through the current low, then it would tag. It's about 104.80 or so would be the short sell restricted mark. For Disney. That's what we're waiting around for. Do we like NVIDIA long? I mean, that's a pretty hefty wick bottom for NVIDIA. I'd like it better if it could find a bit above 900. It's a big psychological level for it to get above there. I'm not taking any 900 breakouts. You know what happened in the 900 breakout yesterday? It was a dip buy that was a much better way to go with the trend. Disney short new low. I'm not shorting the bottom when it's that close to short sell restricted. I think with that one, if you had the thesis, which I'm not here to tell you that I did, that you wanted to go short into it, it gave you one, I think maybe one chance. It popped right into the opening range or the pre-market resistance here at 108, and that was the only level that it really got to that you could short off of that I can see. And now it's right at those lows, so I'm not going to take a chance there.
All right. Yeah, for some reason, we're stupidly trying to get into Apple right here again. Yeah, Disney. I mean, I was looking at Disney too. We're still in this name. Again, it'll be a positive name for us, but trying to get this name going here, we already got a grayed out at VWAP, and we really haven't seen that. We've talked about earnings plays, and I think this is really the best thing to do. I'll have a look at Palantir and see how that looks. But again, playing it back to VWAP once we're opened on the day, right? So forget about in the pre-market. There's a lot of stuff that's happening. We have the conference call there. We're able to get that dip buy, which was great, which led us to all this. We do have a stop when it broke 105.50, but then we bought it right back on that wick candle in the first 5 minutes. But now you're right back into that exact same area. So I'm going to wait for something down here to see if we could retest that level of 105.30. So that's an area for me to look at down there, 105.30 for a little bit of a reload. And okay, here we go. We are reloaded now. We'll take another piece out there on Apple.
SNSE.
they're not releasing anything that's of magic. It's funny because it's Apple Pencil Pro Magic or something like that. I don't hear it in my ear. I hear some of you guys talking about that. Yeah, they're nothing. They're just more things to add to the ecosystem to help make you, I guess, produce better quality things on your iPad, I guess. And they talked about that with Adobe and all that kind of stuff coming through. So here we go. Another good out for us on Apple. We're long now at 78. Let's put another offer here at 96. Just stopped up there. Maybe, okay, see, maybe we can get a blast higher there. We'll take out about 20% of this long as we've just been buying these dips, but still potential for this to go. Really, I just want this conference to end. This gives me those feelings, and I don't think it's going to end anytime soon, I guess. This gives me those feelings of Fed Day, where I just wanted that dude to leave the podium, and then we absolutely rocked the rest of that day. So I think that could be the case for Apple. Let's just sort of digest all that news and get ready to rock and roll here, hopefully on an upside move now for Apple, Google, Disney, both longs, trying to find some shorts. It could be NVIDIA there at 900, but I was actually looking at a long break for NVIDIA, breaking through this VWAP here at like 905-ish. It's not looking that bad, or this top break at 903 also as a possibility. I just don't want to punch the long. I got the long in Apple. If the market falls off right now, if the market's doing absolutely nothing, sort of as predicted, we said it would be a stock picker's day, and I've just picked the wrong two here, dancing with Palantir. It was really just Palantir, but also Rivian wasn't good off the open, and now we have to deal with Apple as a potential mover one more time. So some good outs there for Apple, but it's 10:37, and there ain't a whole heck of a lot happening right now, other than what's up, Vic Jan Novak,
I can
short on Palantir.
Yeah, I mean, the short on Palantir has been a great one. And shout out to anybody that had it. I was looking for, obviously, a couple of bounce plays on it. The first one good, the next three not. I'm into Nikola because it bounced, actually. And I didn't think we'd have a shot at this, but it just, like they reported this morning, you can see that it tanked. Generally speaking, I want to short it off of previous support levels. So once it got up here to the mid 60s, I like it to 63. So I've gotten in once at 61. I'll let it move into 62, maybe 62.5, and then try to add in front of that 63 level, play it under VWAP. And obviously Nikola is a risk of squeezing like any penny stock, but this is one that's been trending down nicely. Let's go back over to the desk, Adara.
So Tim Cook right now just wrapping up the iPad presentation. Just to wrap everything up, we have, for the first time, two sizes of the iPad Air. There is the iPad Pencil or the Apple Pencil Pro as well. Lots of new additions for the iPad Pro with regards to Final Cut and video editing software ideas. They also have the iPad Mini. So Tim Cook just kind of summarizing, saying this is the best iPad lineup they've ever had. So that looks like that's the end of these Apple event, guys.
RWOD will resume at 10 hours 43 minutes and 8 seconds.
All right, well, now that it's over with, we can finally be back into this name. We did get stopped out because it did break lower, but then we heard right away that it was out, that they were done, so we did get back in. So we'll kind of wash on our last position, so now we need to get some out here to make something back where we just got stopped out on the downside, but now we're back in at 38. So we got stopped out. We talked about that breaking 50. We bought it back there on the event, finally being over and done with now. Let's see if Apple can get back up to the upside. Disney also dropping back into this level as well. So here we go, Disney and Apple right now, the two names that are on my mind.
Yeah, on my mind going to be Intel at VWAP, and of course we already mentioned Nikola to the downside. Another earnings play today. There's so many of them in here. Palantir, I see someone in the chat there, it's like Richard V, Palantir bouncing. So here's the thing about Palantir. Is at this point, I need to see either the level I want or actual signs of strength. This is the first time it's done like any kind of a rounding face. You actually have a double bottom of sorts and then a higher low. So that is a pretty solid setup for it to be able to break out from. But then even then, I'd still be looking at VWAP on any bounce play, given the trend that this does have. Let's get on over to Adara for Sector Watch. And tell us how Lily's doing today.
Nice look for Eli Lilly here, falling off some strength yesterday as well for LLY. So nice look in general for a lot of these health technology stocks. Generally, though, for looking at this board as a whole, Sean was just saying that there's not a lot happening in this market right now. I would agree. We're slightly positive in the day, and that reflects in these sectors. Finance slightly positive, producer,
BOWL.
manufacturing, retail,
And
trade,
NBR.
consumer non-durables, commercial services, health services, producer industries, utilities. All of these are generally going to be pretty green. We have a couple sectors that are a little bit more mixed though here. Consumer services mixed to negative. I would argue it looks like the weakest performing stock of the day right now. Starbucks continuing its weakness from last week after that earnings miss. Disney now trading after its revenue miss today as well, trading a little bit lower and bringing the stock to the downside. Energy minerals pretty flat here today. Communications pretty flat. Consumer durables generally looking pretty flat to green, but Tesla bringing this one to the downside with those disappointing China sales numbers for the month of April. And pretty mixed as well for our tech sectors here. Meta, a little bit downside on technology services, but generally pretty mixed to strong. And we also have electronic technology, Apple just wrapping up its iPad event, not doing too much. The rest of the sector has some green semiconductor names with the notable exception of NVDA, guys.
All right, we bought Disney down here, and we just been selling some of that on the upside there as Disney trying to get really interesting down here right now. So, yeah, we're long at 105.17 now for Disney as we waited for that 105 to come in because that was going to be our stop down there at 105. So we'll hold out to see if it can work now. But, yeah, Disney fighting that SSR area of being down 10 right now.
RWOD may resume in less than a minute.
Long. I don't know about that. And then right now, Apple trying to make new lows. We did buy it back. We did talk about that. It did get into the 60s again. We did get some out. We got some out into 50s, but we're still holding about half of that reloaded position. So let's see if Apple can get back up to the upside right here today. I mean, it kind of sucks. We'll have AMD as a green name. We'll have Google. And then right now, we could go red actually on Disney as well. So let's wait to see what happens. There goes Disney breaking through that 105. So there it is. So we will go red. So two names green anyways. Google here. And that's about it for me. We're going to have to wait to see if Apple gets back going. Now 15 cents in the money. We need an upside push here for Apple to get this one going. But yeah, that Disney short, really good one. Breaking through 105 now, trying to get to that SSR level. Not a great day trading so far here.
You got to just try to stay in the pocket with them. So the first smiley face just happened on Palantir, and it's right back at the level we liked before. So it ends up putting in a low at 21.35. The issue with picking a falling knife is that you can find strength in the stock at the level you like, but it might not be on the way down. It could end up on the way up. So it just put in that bottom. Now you have a bit of a higher low right at that 21.6. So I'm in it, not to the low of the day. This is to the local high at 45. So again, every single time I've been in this, I've had about 10. The only time I didn't have about 10 cents worth of risk was at the open when I couldn't get the fill at 22 even. And I actually got like 22 10. But VWAP is still going to be the play. That's up at like 21.90. So we're going to get some out 70s, 80s, and obviously if it gets to that 90 level, the trend is still to the downside. And if this can't get to VWAP, then clearly
PRCT.
It's in a world of hurt. NVIDIA is holding on to 900. Yeah, this one has a chance now. It's holding a higher low. It's trying to break this break. It needs to get into VWAP. Let me just double check AMD. AMD, probably a good thing to get out of it. Now this is holding VWAP as well. I have Intel at 27. It's at 19. It's pretty much at VWAP. And this is almost as strong here on AMD. Don't want to flip thinking about longs on that one just yet. But Palantir will take a fifth shot at it at this point. But each time, have a pretty defined risk. It's not to the low of the day. A lot of times it's bounced, give it to the low, give it to the higher low. I'm giving it to this higher low at 45s. If it breaks that, it's probably just going to hit the low anyways.
All right. Yeah, and again, thanks, Brad, and everything like that. Yeah, it is good to see that we're trading more like a human and can actually make some bad calls.
RWOD will resume at 10 hours 49 minutes and 13 seconds.
I think
RWOD halted. RWOD will resume at 10 hours 48 minutes and 52 seconds.
What we are, if we're red or green on names. I mean, we're sitting here talking about them to you. So without disclosing, share size, you can at any time ask us, what we are up or down on names anything like that, and no problem telling you that's true of any of the traders here, and that's sort of one of our policies. All right, so 182.65 here for Apple, starting to go back up to the upside. You can see we've just taken a little bit more of a relaxed look now. We wanted to wait for that to be done. So now that it's done, we'll go back there up to the upside, and let's see what's going on now with Apple. I mean, potential move all the way up. I mean, potential move.
NUZE.
You know, I mean, now that they're done, they could digest everything. What exactly was that event all about? Was it a nothing burger? I hope so, because then I feel like we can get back to where we were pre-10 o'clock. You know, I mean, some kind of announcement, done. So it could be the other way around for sure. Apple could continue weakness. We talked about the day that it had yesterday, again, with a little bit of a gap down into 180 or so. On, you know, news that was taken, it was just by sort of Berkshire came out and said, you know, there was tax purposes, this and that. But yeah, Apple just had a huge day there on Thursday and Friday with that report on Thursday. So huge move up there to 186. Top on Friday. We blasted
BTAK,
the 187
DOUG,
early. I mean, what a
HNRA.
move. They bottomed out around 164, I believe, for Apple, somewhere around there, and then just bang to the upside on that report, hits 187, hits 186. Then they get that report there about a nice downside sell-off from Berkshire, still holding like hundreds of millions of shares. So all good there. And then now today we have that let loose event. So we let loose a little bit here, which was horrible, which is why we're down on Apple. So
ACB. NUZE. RWOD may resume in less than a minute. RWODU may resume in less than a minute. NUZE. JMIA. NUZE. JMIA. JMIA. NUZE.
MNTS.
NUZE. NUZE halted. NUZE will resume at 10 hours 55 minutes and 55 seconds. SNAP.
HUIZ.
IART. RWOD may resume in less than a minute. SNAP. ANVS. JMIA. RWODU may resume in less than a minute. FMC.
YTEN.
SOPA. REAX. RWOD. REAX. PWFL. SOPA. PWFL. NUZE may resume in less than a minute. RWOD halted. RWOD will resume at 10 hours 59 minutes and 55 seconds. SNAP.
So if you want to trade profitably, the best place to start is probably just go to this free community. Yeah, it's free. So I'm in there now. They have a bunch of live events. So all of these guys, 6-figure traders, right? This guy, 6-figure trader, and they go live. They literally just share their strategies, the trades they've taken, the trades they're going.
SGBX.
Executed.
SGBX.
Executed.
NUZE. PWFL. NUZE. RWOD may resume in less than a minute. HOOD. DSGN. NUZE. JMIA. DDOG. Z. Z. SNAP. HOOD.
INTT. GMGI. PSNL.
INTT. MSTR. HOOD. SEMR. ADEA. DSGN. CLSK. RWOD halted. RWOD will resume at 11 hours 9 minutes and 42 seconds. TRUP. SG.
REBN.
NNOX.
DZSI.
MSTR. NNOX. MSGM. RWOD may resume in less than a minute. DDOG.
SST.
DDOG.
SYT.
DDOG.